There's an immediacy here which you're directly involved in. State the fury of the adjacent nations as China projects himself into a new territory.
Well, I mean, China has grown the islands 2,000 acres in the last 18 months. That's a lot of space that they've grown. They're throwing sand up into these atolls and then building military airstrips on top of those. They claim that it's not military, but U.S. Satellite information has shown 2 artillery pieces that are actually in range of some of the other country islands.
Who says, no, you can't do that?
The U.S. is really the only country that can go up against China. China's military is way too large for any of the other countries in the region. It has to be a U.S., Japan, Australian combination that would go up and stop China from doing this.
So there's a consistent pattern to this, which is they build, they say this is ours, we say we don't care, we overfly. When does that pattern change?
Well, it changes when the U.S. really, and actually we see this now with Ashton Carter's statements, we see a much stronger U.S. willingness to take on China that we didn't see a few months ago. So I'm optimistic that China will, actually China has already started de-emphasizing a bit. We might see them roll back, but Scarborough Shoal actually in the Philippines, which is within the 200-mile economic zone of the Philippines, has been occupied by China and is right next to Subic Bay, which is our old, very important naval base.
This recent white paper from China stating it's going to keep its global sea lanes open, it's got global ambitions. Do we take that seriously in a global sense, or is that really just about the South China Sea?
China's focus is South China Sea and Taiwan. That's their major foreign policy foci. But they are looking to become a global power. They're reaching into Africa to pull out resources. They want to protect those lines, and they're really a throwback right now to 19th century international relations, and that's exactly wrong.
Subic Bay was founded in 1885, which harkens back to the Spanish-American Civil War. It seems like something out of our history books from another time and place. Are you suggesting we are going to redux TR in the Spanish-American War?
Philippines really needs the U.S. as a backstop against China. They need the United States to come in. They need the U.S. ships there. Unfortunately, years ago in the early 90s, Philippines essentially kicked out the U.S. and the 7th Fleet went to Singapore. Now, Philippines immediately felt the effect of that from China when China took Scarborough Shoal and other locations around that area. But now China's probably being rolled back as we pivot to Asia. I think about 60% of the U.S. Navy force is or will soon be in the Pacific region.
Okay, as Tom says.
That's fascinating.
All right, yeah. That's the question is always: is it?
Why do I think
if we're thinking of the 19th century, is it the U.S. and the U.K. or the U.K. and Germany?
Yeah, you wonder if it's going to be 2 fleets, one in the Philippines and one in Singapore. That's what we end up with.